What's the most ridiculous way an old childhood app ruined your entire future? A forgotten music playlist got me permanently labeled as a domestic terrorist by the federal government. I am 17. 6 months ago, I was a varsity cross-country runner with a 3.9 GPA. I had a conditional nomination to the United States Naval Academy. Now, I have a felony-level threat designation attached to my social security number. Let me explain. Back when I was 11, I was obsessed with track and field. Our middle school was going up against our fierce rivals at Lincoln County. I wanted an intense hype playlist for the bus ride. I thought I was being incredibly edgy and clever, so I named the Spotify playlist Operation School Wipeout. I threw in a bunch of aggressive workout track. ACDC, Eminem, The Hive. I used it for 3 weeks, completely forgot about it, but the playlist stayed public on my dormant account. Fast forward to my junior year at Westbridge High in Seattle. Everything was perfect until the district received a $2.5 million government grant to install state-of-the-art AI threat monitoring software across all school-issued Chromebook and campus Wi-Fi network. The principal held an assembly about digital safety, throwing around buzzwords like algorithmic sentinels and proactive threat neutralization. I completely ignored it. I was just worried about my app calculus exam. It was a Tuesday at 1:15 p.m. I was in study hall, sitting near the radiator. I opened Spotify on my phone, which was connected to the school's network, and hit shuffle on my liked song. The algorithm caught a ping, not just any ping. It flagged the dormant Operation School Wipeout playlist attached to my IP address, cross-referenced the aggressive song titles, and instantly triggered a silent alarm to local authorities. 10 minutes later, the fire alarm didn't ring. Instead, the PA system crackled, and a pre-recorded voice announced a code red hard lockdown. Lights went out. We huddled under the desks. I was frantically texting my mom that I loved her. Then, the heavy library doors were violently kicked open. 4 officers in heavy tactical gear swept the room with assault rifles and flashlights. They marched straight to my corner, hands where we can see them. One screamed. They grabbed my arms, zip-tied my wrists so tightly they bruised, and dragged me out into the hallway in front of 50 terrified classmates. I was shoved into the back of a squad car and taken to the local precinct. 2 federal detectives sat me in a windowless room. They slapped a printed screenshot on the metal table. It was my old Spotify profile. Care to explain your operational timeline? The lead detective asked. I stared at the paper. It was my track playlist from 2020. That's a running mix, I stammered. I made it when I was 11 for a relay race against Lincoln County. The detective pointed to track 4, a song called Blow It Up. Gangs use code words. Extremists use manifestos. You think we're stupid? While I was being interrogated, my parents were back home. It was 6 p.m., and they were hosting my grandfather's 80th birthday dinner. 20 family members catered Italian food, the works. Suddenly, an armored police vehicle parked directly on our front lawn. A specialized task force executed a no-knock search warrant. They ripped our house apart. They emptied my drawers, seized my computer, confiscated my dad's hunting rifles from his locked gun safe, and completely traumatized my elderly grandfather. They found absolutely nothing. No blueprint, no weapons, just running shoes and calculus textbook. They eventually released me at 3:00 a.m., but the nightmare was just starting. The school district had a strict zero-tolerance policy for digital threats. We had a grueling disciplinary hearing. My parents brought in a highly paid digital forensics expert who testified that the playlist hadn't been modified or explicitly searched for in 6 entire years. He definitively proved it was an algorithmic misinterpretation. The superintendent looked right at me and said, "While we acknowledge the context, the presence of the word wipeout combined with the campus network breach violates our core safety mandates." I was permanently expelled. Now, 6 months later, I am completing my diploma through a sterile online program. I lost my spot on the varsity team. But the absolute worst part, that police report and the school's domestic threat filing triggered an automatic review of my military application. Last week, I received a certified letter from the Department of Defense. My conditional nomination to the Naval Academy was officially revoked due to a flagged security background. My lifelong dream of becoming a naval aviation officer was completely destroyed. I deleted my Spotify account, but the digital footprint is permanent. I am branded as a high-level security risk for the rest of my life, all because an 11-year-old thought Operation School Wipeout was a cool name for a running mix.